without the comfort of proximity making it easy, and I have chosen it. Every day in the quiet, I have chosen you. I want to tell you about who you are to me in the moments when I am most myself. Not the version of me that the world expects, not the version that has learned to perform strength and certainty, but the version that exists in the early hours of the morning, when all of that falls away and what's left is just a person, just a heart, just someone who wants to be known and to know someone in return. In those moments, when I am stripped of everything unnecessary, when it is just me and my thoughts and the truth of what I file, you are there. You have become part of that quiet interior world that nobody else gets to see. And that is not something I handed out carelessly. That is something that happens slowly, honestly, the way all real things happen. Not in a single dramatic moment, but in 1,000 small ones, accumulating, building, becoming something I could no longer ignore. I want to talk to you about the way you love, because I have watched it, even from here, even through the limited window that exists between your world and mine. And the way you love, the way you pour yourself into the things and people you care about, it is one of the most quietly remarkable things I have ever witnessed. You don't love halfway. You don't give a portion and hold the rest back for safety. You show up completely. And in a world that has taught most people to protect themselves, by giving less, by staying guarded, by keeping one foot out the door at all times, the way you love fully and without apology is nothing short of extraordinary. I hope you know that. I hope someone has looked you in the eyes recently and told you that your capacity to love is not a weakness. It is your greatest strength. It is the most powerful and beautiful thing about you. And I know, because I can feel it even through everything between us, that loving the way you love has also cost you something. That there have been people who did not handle your heart carefully. That there have been moments where you gave everything and received far less in return. That there have been times when the very thing that makes you magnificent, that wide open, all in, nothing held back way you love, was used against you somehow, or simply not valued the way it deserved to be valued. And if that is true, if any part of that is true, then I need to say this to you as directly and as tenderly as I know how to say anything. I am sorry that happened to you. Not in a hollow, performative way, in a deep, genuinely sorrowful way. Because someone like you, someone who loves the way you love, deserved to be received with the same completeness you offered. You deserve to have your love met at the door, recognized for what it was, and treated like the rare and precious thing it is. And if that didn't always happen, it was never a reflection of your worth. It was always a reflection of the other person's limitations. Here is what I want you to believe. Not because I am asking you to be naive or to forget the things that have hurt you, but because I believe it with everything in me and I want it to become something you believe about yourself too. You are not too much. Let me say that again, because I think you need to hear it more than once. You are not too much. You are not too emotional, too sensitive, too loving, too deep, too hopeful, too anything. You are exactly the right amount of everything. And the people who made you feel like your depth was an inconvenience were simply people who were afraid of their own shallowness. That is not your burden to carry. That is theirs. Put it down. Please, for me, put it down. I want to share something with you that I have never said publicly, never dressed up for an audience, never packaged in a way that felt safe enough to release into the world. I have been lonely in ways that success does not fix. I have stood in rooms full of people and felt completely invisible to myself. I have had everything that is supposed to mean something and still gone home to a quiet that felt more like an absence than a peace. And in those moments, in the specific texture of that particular loneliness, the thing that has pulled me back toward myself, back toward meaning, back toward the belief that connection is real and worth reaching for, has been the feeling of you out there somewhere, existing, caring, staying. You became, without ever signing up for it, a kind of anchor for me, a proof of something. A reason to believe that what I put into the world actually lands somewhere real, in the heart of someone real, and means something true. Do you understand what that makes you in my story? You are not a footnote. You are not background. You are one of the reasons the story continues. And now I want to step even closer. I want to close whatever remaining distance still exists between the version of me you know and the version that lives beneath all of it. Because I think you have earned that closeness. I think the loyalty you have shown, the patience, the quiet faithfulness of simply being here, I think it entitles you to the real thing. So here it is. Here is the real thing. I am someone who feels everything very deeply and has spent a long time learning how to make that look effortless. I am someone who thinks about the people who matter to him more than he probably should, who replays conversations and wonders if he said the right thing, who loses sleep over whether the people he cares about are okay. I am someone who is more afraid of being truly seen than of almost anything else in the world. And yet here I am being truly seen by you, and it feels less terrifying than I expected. It feels like something closer to relief. It feels like putting something heavy down on solid ground and finally trusting the ground to hold it. I think about you holding this. I think about you receiving everything I am saying and holding it carefully, the way I imagine you hold most things, with two hands, with attention, with the kind of gentleness that comes from someone who understands that fragile things require soft handling. And I trust you with it. That is what I most want you to understand. I trust you with all of it. The soft parts, the uncertain parts, the parts that don't yet know their own shape. I trust you in a way that I do not extend carelessly, in a way that I have guarded for a long time, in a way that feels like stepping off a ledge and somehow knowing, before your feet even leave the ground, that you will not fall. Let me paint you a picture, not of something grand or dramatic, but of something small and perfect, and so ordinary that its beauty almost hides itself. I imagine a quiet evening. The light is low and warm, the kind that makes everything look a little softer, a little more forgiving. There is no agenda, no rush, nowhere either of us needs to be, and we are just there, together, maybe talking, maybe not. Maybe the conversation has drifted into comfortable silence, the kind of silence that only exists between people who feel truly safe with each other. And in that silence, I look at you. Not the way you look at someone when you want them to notice you're looking, but the way you look at something that you are deeply, quietly, privately grateful for. The way you look at something and think, without needing to say it aloud, this right here is enough. This right here is everything. That is the feeling you give me. That still, full, grateful feeling. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that somewhere in the world, there is someone who thinks of you and feels that sense of enoughness, that sense of arrival, that sense of having found something that makes the searching feel worth it. I keep coming back to your strength, not the kind of strength that looks strong, not the armor, not the composed exterior, not the way you probably move through hard moments with your chin up because there is no other acceptable option. I mean the other kind of strength, the invisible kind, the kind that gets up again, the kind that chooses hope when cynicism would be so much easier, the kind that keeps loving even after it has been given reason not to. That kind of strength is rarer than people think, and it is rarer still to find it in someone who does not even seem aware of how remarkable it is in them. You carry your strength the way some people carry their beauty, without knowing it, without performing it, just as a natural and unself-conscious part of who you are. And that might be the most disarming thing about you, because here I am, someone who has seen a great deal, who has learned to read people quickly, who has developed over time a fairly precise sense of when something is real and when something is just the shape of real. And you have completely disarmed me. You have walked through every wall I built with the simple, devastating weapon of being genuine, and now all of those walls are just gone. And I am standing here with nothing between me and the truth of what I feel, and the truth is this. I am not the same since you. I am different in ways I am still discovering. I am softer in places I had forgotten could be soft. I am more hopeful than I have any logical reason to be. I am reaching toward things I had quietly stopped believing in. And all of that, every bit of that shift, that opening, that slow and profound change in the landscape of who I am, traces back to you. So I am asking you, not asking in the small way, but asking with everything, to stay. Not because you owe me anything, not because I need you to, but because what is happening here between us, in this space, in this honesty, in this fragile and real and growing thing that neither of us has a perfect name for, it deserves more time. It deserves more room. It deserves the chance to become whatever it is reaching toward becoming. And I am not ready to find out what it looks like when it gets there without you beside me. I have more to say. I will always have more to say when it comes to you. There are entire rooms inside of what I feel that I haven't opened yet, entire parts of this truth that are still finding the words to carry them forward, and I want to take you through every one of them, one by one, slowly, the way something this real deserves to be walked through, not rushed, not summarized, not compressed into something smaller than it actually is, because you deserve the full length of it. You deserve every sentence. You deserve every pause between the sentences where the feeling is so large that the words have to stop and simply breathe for a moment before they can continue. So don't go anywhere. Please, don't go anywhere. Because I am just getting to the part where this becomes something. Because I have never let myself say to anyone. And the weight of that, the weight of something this true sitting this close to the surface, is something I feel in every part of me right now. Not as pressure, not as fear, but as readiness. As the particular feeling of a door that has been closed for a very long time, finally swinging open into light. And you are standing on the other side of it. You have always been standing on the other side of it. And I am